In today's video, I want to share with you how I make password managers work for me and 5 things that no one told you about. Passwords are painful. They are painful to create and even more painful to manage. And we all know a password that is automatically created like this one can't be remembered by a human being. Won't you agree? But there are password managers. They create strong password for you. They can save them, and most of the time, they can autofill. There are also built-in password managers. Google, Microsoft Edge, and even Apple Keychain. And there are so many other password managers. And here is the thing. If someone is not using a password manager, it's a red flag. Probably the person is using weak password and reusing most of them. This is dangerous. If one of the accounts gets compromised, all the rest will follow. I know there is a debate about the security of the built-in passwords, but between using nothing and using a built-in password manager, there is a huge difference in the security. I personally have a hybrid model. I use a third-party password manager like this one for my most sensitive account. For the regular ones, like utilities, gyms, libraries, I use Google Password Manager. And here are the 5 things I want to share with you. Password Manager are not set up and forget. There is a minimum of maintenance. There are going to be duplicates accounts to clean. There are going to be old accounts to remove. You remember the elementary school account that you have when your kids was small? Maybe you don't need it anymore. An account for the gym? Maybe you don't need it anymore. There is a regular maintenance. Even you will receive alerts if there is a compromised account or a password and you need to take action. A password manager is an amazing tool, but is set up and maintained. You have an account in your password manager, and for any reason, you use another device to change the password or even to do a reset. And then when you came back to your password manager, you have duplicate entries. You have different passwords. Which one is the accurate one? The workaround is to look at the date, last used or last created. And the most recent one is the one to keep. This is a sync problem. When you create a new account, it happens multiple times that the password manager, for any reason, it doesn't capture the right username or the right website address. When you come later, you find missing information and you cannot log in. The workaround I find for this is whenever I create a new account, I take 3 seconds to check username, link to the website, and the password. That saves a lot of time. If you get a new laptop or a new smartphone, your password manager is probably not there yet. So when you want to get to log in, you'll have to type this long, strong password letter by letter. The good news is we are not getting a new laptop or a new smartphone every day. So this is more an exception, but you need to be aware whenever it happens, it is painful. One of the strengths of a password manager is to generate a strong password. But if you are logged in to your smartphone, you're going to have to do a few jumps from your application to the password manager, generate, copy, come back to the application, and then go back to put all the entries. There are a couple of workarounds. The first, as much as possible, create the login in your laptop. It's much easier, as you can see. The second, when you are on your smartphone, most of the application, they do provide a single sign-on. They will offer, do you want to sign on with Google or with Microsoft or even with Facebook? I'll pick one. I love using one set of credential for multiple application. The last one, we all have different accounts for the same website. In my example, it's the insurance. We have different accounts. If your password manager is set up to automatically log you, sometimes it takes by default the same account. And this becomes irritating. You cannot stop it from logging with the default account. The workaround is just for this website with the problem, you can pause on the login automatically. These are my 5 glitches that I think you need to know. If you want to stick with the password manager, I think it's important to understand what is expected. Regularly maintaining a password manager is a must. You can take the frequency that you like. I do it weekly. And also when one of these glitches happen, and as you can see, there are more exceptions when you create a new login, when you get a new laptop or a new smartphone, you know what to expect. It's not a big deal.